What's up, YouTube? Dylan here with Dylan's Home Espresso Bar, and today we are talking about distribution techniques. Now, there are a lot of distribution techniques out there. However, I am going to be focusing on one in particular today, and that technique is the WDT tool, which is Weiss distribution technique. So I have been looking into the WDT tool. I've been doing a lot of research online, and it actually is very, very shocking on the good results that you can get with the WDT tool. So who would need to use this? So if you're in a kind of like a cafe setting, the WDT tool is a little bit overkill because you don't have the time to prepare all of your pucks for all of your customers like that. But for us, people who are at home, brewing coffee at home, who are just loving the process and just want a great cup of coffee, just great cup of espresso, or even with a milk-based beverage, this tool is going to allow you to really declump all those big craters you see in your whenever you grind, depending on which grinder you have. So obviously, depending on the grinder, so I have the Breville Barista Express built-in grinder, the Breville Smart Grinder Pro, the Niche, and the Atom 75. Now, with the Barista Express, it's been really good. There's really not too many clumps, but it definitely helps. There is a little bit of clumps in there as well. The Smart Grinder Pro has a little bit of clumping. Niche is a little bit of clumps, and the Atom's pretty much really fluffy. So this tool is really good, especially if you have a grinder that is a little bit less consistent than maybe a higher end model grinder. So what this technique is used for is to declump and to get you a more even extraction and prevent more channeling. So we're going to do that today. So today we are going to be pulling 2 shots. We are going to use the distribution tool, the distribution on the WDT, and we are going to just look at the extraction on both. So we're going to look at both of them and see, does it make a difference? So we are going to be using the beans that were roasted by Dane that were sent to me. So definitely a big shout out to Dane again, and a big shout out to Mr. Thomas and Jamin for sending me this tool. All right, so if my wife can just follow me along here, we're going to pull 2 shots. We're going to pull one with just distributing and tamping without the WDT tool, and then we are going to be using the WDT tool, and then we're going to distribute like normal and then tamp. So the only thing we're going to do differently between these 2 experiments, these 2 shots, is just use this as opposed to not using it. So that's what we are going to do. So here we go. I do recommend that you use a funnel because it can get a little bit messy, especially when you're mixing it around, but I'll show you guys that. So we're going to just do a normal shot first. So we're going to put the WDT tool up there. Man, really, say that 10 times fast. WDT to WDT, yeah.
WDT.
It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. So what we're going to do is we are going to start out by grinding 20 grams. We are going to try setting number 14. And again, we are going to start this as soon as we start the machine because like I said in my recent videos, I've really gotten to love starting it as soon as you start the machine. I just feel like you get a more balanced shot and it just tastes sweeter too. So definitely try that out if you have not. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. This is Dylan's Home Espresso Bar. I am extremely grateful to be able to make content for you guys, and I'm going to continue to make content for you guys as long as I can. So here we go. All right, so now we're just gonna grab our little tool here, get the rest of those grinds out. Always make sure to stay consistent. We're at 20.1 grams. All right, so as you can see, I mean, there's hardly any clumps in there whatsoever. It's a little bit harder to see just because there is no light right there, but it's pretty much clump free. Let's see here. All right, so you're gonna wanna use a funnel just because if you're gonna use the WDT tool, it's just gonna get all over the place. So you're gonna want something to kind of funnel that back in. But since this is just gonna be a normal shot, I'm just going to just kind of prepare it like that. Just give it a couple taps to fill the outer ridge of the basket. Make sure you have a nice and smooth surface, and then just tamp it like normal. All right, so you got your nice prepared puck. Just gonna go ahead and flush that out. So again, we're gonna start this as soon as we start the machine. Shot looks decent. All right. So that shot was 43 grams in 28 seconds. So pretty good shot as well. Really nice crema up top there. I would say that that was a perfect shot. Definitely there was no channeling at all, which is absolutely amazing. So obviously we don't really need the WDT tool because the niche does do a pretty good job at consistency and keeping those grinds nice and uniform. However, it can definitely come, those two streams of coffee can definitely come together a little bit better. But like I said, there was no channeling, and we're just gonna go ahead and give this shot a try. So cheers. It's really hot. No, this is a really nice smooth shot. I've really been enjoying starting that timer when you start the machine. That was absolutely amazing. But the main thing that we are doing today is comparing, is this tool worth it? Now, like I said, I'm going to be doing this on all of my grinders. So I'll be using the Smart Grinder Pro, doing both of these shots back to back. Also, I'll be using the built-in Barista Express and also the Atom 75 because I want to know, is this only worth it if you're using a, I guess, a cheaper grinder as opposed to a more high-end grinder like the Niche and the Atom? But we are going to find out if we do get that smoother, more clear extraction. We are going to be dosing out 20 grams yet again, but we are going to be using the WDT tool, and we are going to be putting that inside the funnel because you're going to want to have a funnel just to keep those grinds nice and clean inside of that. Otherwise, you're going to spill a lot of coffee grounds on the side of the basket. So I'll show you that here in a second. We have 19.9. So here's what we're going to do. So the only difference now, I know that this is a precision dosing cup. However, we are just going to dump the grinds. So if you want to get close in here, we are just going to dump the grinds into the basket. So yes, this is going to cause big clumps. And that's the reason why I'm doing this, to show you guys. So see these huge clumps right now? Those are not what you want. And that's because we obviously just transferred over into here. So now here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this WDT tool, and what we're going to do is we're going to go into a circular motion here around the basket, around the edge. You want to make sure you get the whole edge there. And see what I'm talking about? If you didn't have this dosing funnel, all these grounds that I do right here would go all the way over. So you want to make sure to get a nice funnel when you do this. So I'm going all the way on the sides. You're just going to go in a little circular motion all the way around the basket and then work your way in the middle. There's different techniques to this. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to tap it and it evens it out. And now you have a nice and declumped coffee ground here. So you're just going to give it a nice couple taps. You don't have to distribute, but I still do. And then you're going to get a nice tamp here. So that is using the WDT tool to just get that nice and uniform grind. So if you don't have a really good grinder at home and you are noticing pretty visible clumps from your grinder going straight into a cup, you're definitely going to want to invest in a WDT tool just so you can get uniform grinds as you would in a commercial grinder like the Niche and the Atom 75. But let's go ahead and pull this shot here. Again, we're going to be starting it as soon as we start the machine. Definitely, if you guys are into coffee and you want to make this a full-time hobby of yours and you want to really get into the nitty-gritty of espresso, I do recommend getting this Acaia scale. I'm not sponsored by them, but they are absolutely amazing scales, and it's going to make your life a whole lot easier. So here we go. So as soon as it clears, we're going to go ahead and start. So as you saw, that stream came together right away. There was no two streams that came into one. So as you can tell, I mean, that is absolutely perfect. There is zero channeling going on at all right now. All right, so if you guys can see that, that is 27 seconds with 41 grams out. So that is absolutely beautiful. And if you guys saw, that WDT tool really made a huge difference. Both shots were absolutely amazing. Don't get me wrong. However, the first shot, if you guys were to go back and replay this video when it gets posted, those two streams, even though there was no channeling really, the two streams probably took about 10 seconds to come together into one. And if you guys saw with that last shot, it came together almost right away. As soon as you saw that coffee coming from the screen, it almost came together right away, which is absolutely amazing. You get a nice even extraction as you saw with the WDT tool. Even with the niche, it still made that shot better. So would I say that it was worth it based on just the shot alone, just the way it looked? Absolutely. Now, I will let you know if there is a difference in taste. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix this up and then give it a taste test. Cheers. There is a difference. So that tastes absolutely amazing. Using that WDT tool, you saw obviously it was extremely clear. It was really even extraction. There was no channeling whatsoever, and that two streams came together. It didn't even look like there was two streams. It just came down in one stream right away. Now, tasting it, you get more of a full-bodied experience when you taste the espresso. Definitely, if you guys, any grinder you have, I'm going to be doing a showdown with the WDT tool coming up on the channel here, but if you guys have any grinder or you guys just enjoy making espresso at home and you guys genuinely like the taste of espresso, or you just want to see better, more even extractions with your shots, definitely would recommend the WDT tool. So people ask, what is the WDT tool? All it is just a little bit of wiring. So this one has obviously a wooden handle, and it's got just three little metal prongs, three little metal needles that are just really nice and thin. So I'll give you guys a close-up. That's all the tool is, but it makes a huge difference. Now there's different techniques. People go back and forth, up and down, and then some people go in circular motions, side to side, do a little shimmy shake. But the method that I use was just going around the edge of the basket in a circular motion and then following in the middle. And you just still distribute like normal, tamp like normal, but you get a more even extraction as you saw in the video. So final conclusion, is the WDT tool worth it after that one shot? Yes. In my opinion, 100%. WDT tool is 1,000 billion% worth it. So definitely must have for your espresso when you pull your shot, because you're going to get really smooth extractions, and it's just you're really going to up your game for espresso or even milk-based beverages.
That's right.
And it looks a lot better on video too when you get that nice even extraction right from the get-go. There's no channeling, because who wants to see channeling and who wants to clean up channeling when you get it? It's never fun. I mean, that thing just spews. It has a mind of its own. So thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Dylan with Dylan's Home Espresso Bar, and I approve the WDT tool.
Yes.